You spoke last week about feelings often getting stronger as you move towards awakening, as the ego resists. I have recurrent dreams of dying imminently because I've forgotten to take my medication. I wake in panic, but I'm in good health and not on medication. Could this actually be a good sign? Hey, Amy. I mean, in a way, everything is a good sign. Like, everything is perfectly in order and moving towards expansion. That's just the nature of the universe if you look at the Big Bang, but that's really existential and you most probably don't want to know that. Is that helpful to you at this moment? Probably not. But yeah, so from a more existential place, everything is perfect. Is perfect, Amy. Often, yeah, prior to an energetic shift, the emotions can get stronger, a lot stronger. And even after the energetic shift, there can be strong emotions, but sometimes prior to it, they get a lot stronger because the person is trying to stay alive. It's trying to stay the main character of the show, not because it's selfish or bad or actually exists as a thing, but because it's its job to stay center focused, to be like, yes, I am the leader of this ship. I steer the way, I call the shots. So when that begins to be challenged, it has all types of discomforts and hissy fits and anger tantrums and emotions arising. So yeah, but we can go deeper into your question because it's interesting to ask, is this a good sign? You know, what's that about? Like looking for signs, if this is a good sign that you're on the right path. Everything is an opportunity to expand. So, like, who is it that's asking this question, and what is it that they want? And you can explore that, and there can also be a seeing that that person's appearing in this empty looking and this I am, and it wants validation, then it disappears, then something else comes up, and then that disappears, and that which doesn't move is the empty looking and the I am that remains. So don't stop at just asking the question and wanting the answer. Like, keep on pushing yourself and examining who has those thoughts and where do they come from. So Amy's wrote back, she says, feeling stuck and needing reassurance. So that's just amazing, like that depth. So there's a feeling stuck and needing reassurance. And is there a part of you that's taken that to be real? Like that there is somebody there that's stuck, that needs reassurance. If we look deeper into it, there is sensations, and then there's an interpretation of the sensations, and then there's a conclusion about what needs to be done about these sensations. And that's really valid. I'm not saying don't have these feelings, but just question the belief in them. Like, my experience with humans is that they're just repeating conditions again, again, and again. So they get into this subject and then they just repeat the conditions of their mind. So they've most probably felt this in their job, in their relationships, in their heart before. So Amy says yes, part that feels unsafe. So then that's beautiful. So you're going even deeper. So there is this stuckness that manifests, what's interpreted as stuckness, and then needing reassurance. And then underneath that, there is a feeling of being unsafe. and that you need to, a young part that feels unsafe, and that you need to do something about it to make that lack of safety feel better. So just notice that, which you're doing, and just feel it in the body. Like, where does that manifest energetically? And then when you get to the energy of it, notice that there is something that's looking at it, this empty looking, and this I am. So you feel it in the solar plexus. So there is this sensation appearing in the solar plexus, and that's all appearing in this space. And there's all these interpretations that go onto it. It's a contraction. So what happens is you have these contractions. So that's most probably a very young interpretation of the world, like you say. So I am unsafe if something doesn't happen. I need reassurance. So this young part, and then it's like an energy that appears in the body, and then the mind interprets it into your current situation and looks for the solution to find somebody to reassure me and make me feel safe. And the seeking element, so the part which keeps the consciousness and the I am and the character like embedded together, is the idea that if you feel safe, you will feel free. So lack of safety is lack of freedom, and when you feel safe, you will be home. And that's not true. That's a feeling that arises in this, and it's prior to that lack of safety that is the freedom. It's the I am and the empty looking. So it's not getting rid of that feeling, it's not resolving that feeling, it's the recognition that the freedom is here right now in that sensation. Yeah, I equate safety with freedom. And the freedom is the empty looking and the I am. Is there a sense of that now, Amy? The empty looking and the I am? When it's really strong, and when there's lots of seeking there, it sort of takes over experience, and there is a lot of attention on wanting to avoid that sensation, wanting to get somewhere else. Yeah, so just notice that there is something that's looking at it, and this I am, and then there is the mind that wants that to feel a certain way. And it's not about getting to a feeling of a certain way, it's this dropping of the seeking and then resting more in that I am and empty looking. Yeah, so the seeking is what, so the feeling arises, and then the seeking generates this like suction. So consciousness and that feeling become like really stuck together. So it's like, even if you do the exercise of like sitting in the consciousness of the I am, it just doesn't feel good because it's so close, you know, they feel like one and the same thing, like you are someone that's unsafe. And when the seeking relaxes, then the consciousness separates from the person, and then you feel good. You feel more good because there is a sense of home, but it might not even be recognized because it might just be like that. You know, it all gets mashed up, and then we rely on the mind to interpret the scenario. Suction is accurate, yeah. So it's just noticing it, and noticing that seeking, that frustration, like all the tantrums of the mind, like I'm sick of this, why does it happen to me, it's so easy for her to say, it's patronizing, it's this, whatever the mind is saying, or she's better than me, I'm not good enough, I failed again. Just notice it all as that, And keep coming back to the empty looking and the I am, even if it feels wretched with this burning solar plexus sensation. This is not advisable to do if you're going through PTSD in the moment, or you're getting stuck on OCD thinking. In those extreme situations, this can be not good for you. So just to let you know. So I don't think you're going through that, Amy, but just as a disclosure to anyone else that's leaving and listening and tries to do it with when they're experiencing PTSD or OCD. Yeah, there might be other conditions as well that this doesn't work for. What can happen is it can stimulate it in an unhealthy way, which is hard to determine because it doesn't feel good what you're most probably doing, Amy. Like feeling that feeling maybe doesn't feel good, but it's actually really healthy to do. It's like making friends with the feeling. But PTSD has another element to it. And if you've ever experienced that, you'll know what I mean. Yeah, or intense trauma and OCD as well. Yeah. Thanks, Amy.